April the 13th, 2019. As you're looking at NOAA satellite images of the U.S., this is geocolors, what they call it. You got a true color in the daytime, multispectral infrared at night. And you can see that if you watch this. You saw it during hurricane season. Also notice that we are getting the inflows from the east, from the direction of Africa. Notice coming across the Caribbean. June 1st is the beginning of hurricane season, with the things that are, the way things are kind of out of whack, guys. We've seen it in the last 2 years kind of fire up early, so we'll keep an eye on that. But what we're seeing now is a very dangerous storm system. Now, through Texas and Louisiana, we'll look at that. We're starting to get thunderstorm watches and warnings. We're in a high wind warning here in central Mississippi as I'm doing the video. But notice that area coming off of Texas right here. That's very high winds, but all of this is high. We're already getting 6 and 7 knot gusts here just at surface levels. But you can see how fast this wind is moving. And something else I may have pointed out in a video, but at the beginning of the year, I talked about, wasn't sure if it was because of grand solar minimum and the weakening of the shields, and what happens there is the Arctic vortex gets out of whack. It's not tight and spinning like it is on a power dynamo when the sun is powerful. The shields are powerful. And there's more information now coming out, guys, about our weakening shields. It's just like I mentioned in the video yesterday. Now they're talking about grand solar minimums instead of global warming. And they're talking about the radiation jumping tremendously. As the weaker our shields get, the more radiation pours in. The worse the sun burns, the worse the damage on crops, things like that, guys. You'll notice it just as soon as the sun breaks out. But for whatever reason, the El Nino has been extremely active, and that's that trail of moisture coming out of this bottom left of the screen off the Pacific Ocean, and that's led to a lot of flooding this year. A lot of flooding all across the nation. And notice coming in the northwest over Oregon and Washington, more moisture pouring in. Oroville Dam is full. They got it pretty much repaired, and they did a lot of upgrades on it. So maybe we won't see what we did a couple of years ago with it. But the spillways are full, and this is going to move over the Rockies, and it's going to dump snow. So this is going to be a year of flooding. Looking at the warning map, we've got a couple things through the southeast we really need to pay attention to today. First, you start off with your severe thunderstorm warnings here, and that's these orange spots in Texas and along the Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas, or the Arklatex area. Notice also you've got a flash flood warning now along that same area here in this color. Also, the tan area that surrounds all this is a wind advisory, and we're already seeing the high winds here in central Mississippi. At ground level, 6 and 7 knot winds. At the top of the trees, you can tell a big difference. It's kind of brisk. This is out in front of the storm. Looking at the composition of the national radar, you notice the storm moving into the northwest. You're going to have rain and additional snow in the upper elevations, but this wind up here in Texas. You've got a lot of conflict with the atmosphere right now. That's why we're having these high winds out in front. And you can see where you're having trouble along the Mississippi River, right in the worst places. Don't need it, but there it is. It's going to move across part of the Missouri River in some of those places. But the high wind and this disturbance right here, guys, once it gets a little warmer today, watch for some very severe thunderstorms and tornadoes to pop up. This is spring fighting the beginning of summer, and it just does not look like a good day for the southeast. It's not a time to let your guard down, because these storms can be deadly. Let me pull this down just a little. Don't forget South Florida. You guys look like it's a pretty good day as far as moisture. You got a little bit out in the Gulf there, but that's sunny Florida for you. They've gotten quite a bit of rain already this year too. But guys, you've got to pay attention to it. I've got another video coming up on some of the things that happened late yesterday with the Trump administration, and it's good news, so stay tuned for that. But now I want you to pay attention to this on our website, BP Headline News and bpearthwatch.com. We have all of these weather links. And if you look on the left side of the website, so you just go down to National Weather or National Weather Service. But this is a close-up of the Texas area. You can notice Louisiana to the right, Arkansas just above that, and Oklahoma. Now, notice in the bottom edges where, as we're getting into the heat of the day, how the thunderstorms are more severe. You can tell that by the red indication in there. That's going to increase. Let me move this map over to the east. Now, we were talking about the flash flooding in North Carolina. A lot more moisture coming, all my friends there. And don't forget, look at Tennessee here. You're going to have South Carolina, northern Georgia, good bit of Alabama, good bit of Mississippi before the day's over with. All along this area, a lot of rain, El Nino effects. But guys, we're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.